Just arrived. Why are we looking for answers to Ashiok? I mean, fans of the stream would know that if I'm looking through Scryfall for answers to a given card, that means I just lost to that card and I'm very upset by that fact. It's underneath a cauldron, yeah, I guess. Seems really bad to me. Maybe we're gonna play a league again and this time I will just draw well and win. Holy shit, true fan of the stream knows what I'm gonna say before I say it. Is the Song of Creation dream dead? No, the dream is not dead. I mean, it's just a bit of a bad deck. What do you cut from Legacy Painter for 4 moons? You've never played this deck? Maybe we can find out, actually. Maybe we can discover what's the cut. Wait, it's a blue deck. Opponent grabbed a Hanweir Might. Might? Open a Legacy deck, get surprised there is a blue deck, yeah. I guess kinda silly, if you put it this way. We are going to trick the opponent. I'm sure they will fall for that. Opponent not falling for that? That's crazy. Holy shit, they did. We played the opponent like a fiddle. What just happened? I had Urza's Cave and 3 mana available, so I played Vesuva, copied Urza's Saga, end of turn they activated their might, and I fetched a Simic Grove Chamber to bounce my Vesuva, copying Saga to fizzle their might. So they just lost their might, and I get to keep it. And now I drew Amulet, which pays me off for doing that. So there's actually 0 chance that opponent should have done that. But they did, and sometimes people do things they are 0% to do. Because, I guess, like, if you don't play against Urza's Cave often, you might just not think about it. I would lose to a removal spell here, but if I go for Mirrorpool, what removal spell out of Brute Skill are we scared of? 2 Galvanic Blasts. Oh, it was silly to play around that for sure. 1 sex against Brute Scale. Let's sex them. My hand has Spelunking and Scapeshift, so it just wins. Yeah, hand simply wins. I mean, it's a turn 3 win if I draw a bounce land. But I found a brute scale. So I might just die on turn 3 myself. Rumbling. Urza Saga, Walking Barista, Nature's Claim. The worst part about Malevolent Rumble and Brute Scale is that it makes you reveal the top 4 cards to your opponents, so they get to see how shit your deck really is. Imagine if Explore was Rumble and this spot would be preferable, yeah. I could even afford to mill over my... US. They chose Walking Ballista and now they chose Saga. And they have the Blade and Walking Ballista and Brute Scale, so there is a so-called problem. You have bested me. So my hand doesn't simply win, it simply loses actually. This hand is fairly nice. Opponent mulligans to 5. Love to see that. I can barely win if my opponent keeps a 7-card hand, so I'm glad that they mulligan to 5. I wish all of my opponents would mulligan to 5 every single time. Chad, if you had to make a choice, you get a buff. You get a Magic the Gathering gameplay buff. You have 2 options. The first is that you are always on the play in the match. So like you still play second game on the draw. Or your opponent always mulligans to 5. Second one easy, mull to 5. I think so too. Enjoy second Scapeshift. Yes, Pansav, you still get the roll unless you play against someone who has chosen the first option and then, well, then they are on the play, of course. But think of the consequences. If they always mulligan to 5, they never mulligan to 4. Monkey paw wish curls. I can go to Yemen. I'm an analyst. Get on the plane. Oh, Magic Devil 666. Oh, well. What an opponent. What do I put back? I think Boseiju. And I wonder if I want to play a turn 1 Saga or is the construct angle any good? Maybe there's this game. I don't have anything else. -4 life. Map. Pass. Crazy. Should make constructs and just can try winning with them. Urza's Mine, activate that. I drew a Titan. I get Cavern? Cracking Mapini. The last time I played against Magic Devil 666, I literally got Harbingered on turn 3, which was pretty distressing. Is Aatrox the strongest deck in a multi-5 meta? I doubt it. Probably just play a good deck. But with Thoughtseize to actually punish sounds good to me. Cavern of Souls actually being useful for once. Okay. Is he playing Subtlety in Blue Tron? Holy shit, he is. Well, I guess I'll top that. Bit of a devastating sequence. Lost a construct and also got my Titan countered, and then villain gets to Tron mana. It's not pretty. Stock up. HS Atticus, thank you very much for 5 months of subscribing. I should just play the Titan. If I get subbed again, then I get subbed, whatever. Keep the Urza's Cave in play so I can try next turn. And I guess I have lethal constructs. Force of Negation pitched. This is kind of funny. You play a Tron deck and then you play Subtlety to play 3 counter spells. So can't you just pay mana for them at that point? Against another Subtlety, it's actually better to attack first. Condescend, yeah, Condescend. Just good magic. I play Condescend. We do not have a source of artifacts for Cave. The best I could do is Mirrorpool, a construct, but I don't have the mana for that. Oh, I have Mycosynth Gardens, yeah, of course. I do have an artifact producing land. Well, good catch, chat. But it kind of makes no sense. You know, if they kill a construct, then my other construct is not a 5 power construct anyways. They might be typing. No, just Kozak's commanding. Magic Devil 666 is Kozlek's command creates 5 Eldrazi spawn tokens. And then what? What's the next step? Interesting, so now I could get Mycosynth. It's rough if there is another Kozlek's command, but 2 have already been cast. I don't know what other solutions to deconstruct villain could have. Oh, that's another one. That's rough. GG, he says. Sure about it? Okay, I guess now I lose. It's pretty rough when they settle the Titans. I don't know what to do about that chat. I guess I'll bring Vexing Bauble. Defense Grid. Bait some chat interaction for Twitter. Thank God you misplayed. What a nice guy. We'll bring sex as well. Why do we need defense grid against a Tron deck? Well, it's a blue Tron deck with subtlety. I mean, they can pay free, but hopefully they won't. Don't think I want Saga. Turn 1. Defense grind. What's my favorite Mike Hawks songs? I don't know. I don't know the guy. Wait, what was the misplay? Portable head, you might need to read the nickname of my opponent. Maybe that's gonna explain it to you. I guess I will pass with Semi-Growth Chamber in my hand. What's my favorite Disco Polo song? Lately it's Cypis z Bójnicy, Piwnicy. If you can call that Disco Polo. Mick, Disco Polo. Polo, Disco Polo. Mick, Elegancia, Francia. A bit of a tricky spot, don't know what to do. Not pretty. How's the Gold League farming? Not so great today. I guess farming is a term we could use, but it would be a very optimistic one. Do I prefer my potato salad with vinegar or mayonnaise? So in Poland, nobody eats potato salad with vinegar. It's always with mayonnaise. I literally never heard of vinegar potato salad. I traped you each game. Traped? Curious. I think the play is to play Titan and then have Spelunking available to have 6 mana next turn. I get brain searched. It respawns, which is alright. You have been traped. Getting traped sounds not good. Okay. Was that the traping? No, not trapper. Just 1p. Not even a snapback? Force of Dismember. Oh no. That would suck. That would be really rough. How trapped are you right now? No, I'm not trapped. I'm trapped. Traped. It's way different, chat. Don't conflate those terms. It's actually gonna take many clicks to haste the other one. I guess I don't care. Not worth wasting the time to cast Scapeshift. So I would say that defense grid worked out good, well, this game. Not much, I just got I guess, hit by 2 Force of Negations, so that didn't really matter. It would be pretty good if it resolved. I mean, it will be the same. It got Force of Negation, then I was casting a Titan, so it actually didn't do anything. I mean, it kinda is a bluff, I guess. If you don't block the construct, then it incentivizes me to pump it, and then if you have a removal, you can kill it, and then I don't Titan that turn, so... Well, I guess game 1 was a bluff, but game 2... Not really, I guess, I would say. Although it seems like in Magic Devil 666 is mine, it's the opposite. Canister, please win, I can't take Magic Devil winning a game. Well, what can you do, right? You cannot attach your worth to winning Magic the Gathering games, right? Or you cannot attach a worthlessness of a person to whether they are capable of winning games of Magic sometimes or not either. Just watch me. Okay, I'll watch you. How many copies of the new Simic Legends do I think this deck will play? Let's keep 1. Like, there is no reason to play more. You play it for GSZ. O nie, Cypis Mokra Jolanta ograniczenie wiekowe? No. It's so sad. Point kept a 1-lander game 1, by the way, that is true. Was good enough to get me though. Combo. Defense Greed plus Vexing Bauble. No, not an elemental. Almost wrecked myself. 3 folk? Yes, 3 folk. The element of a tree. Tron mana. Defense Greed, kinda funny indeed against Urza's Power Plant. If you put it that way. No idea what to do here. Probably the correct play was to replay Amulet. Jeszcze jaja ci poskubię, no. Alright, 7 mana. Titan. Oh, results. Tishana Statebinder. Holy shit, 6 mana Tishana Statebinder. Not necessarily what I expected, but fine. Boseiju the power plant. See Trape. No, not Trape again. A blunder, you fell for the Trape once again. Yeah. Getting traped and traped and traped again. He was trying to cast something, but I have the defense grid, so it would need to be a 0 mana spell, so I don't know what that would be. I think I should be fine barring Power Plant into Eugen, into another colorless spell. But I just destroyed the Power Plant, so what are the odds, right? And also Villain kept up a Tishana's Tidebinder over playing a Eugen on my sex. Which I guess that would have lost him the game, but... Lauren revealed. Am I looking forward to the Saga buff? Yeah, but it's also a bit tricky. You have random luck, you misplayed game, you end so funny XD. With your random all-in shit pile, damn. The buff probably just means that there will be fewer people playing Harbinger and Blood Moon. That's level 1 analysis, but then when you think about it harder, it also might mean that there's gonna be more people playing those. They're just gonna play those alongside Moon. Alongside Saga, right? Because it's a combo now. Which is my worry, but... we'll see. Titan Harbinger incoming. Yeah, for example, we could do that. We have a coin deeps to assemble Tron, I guess. Yeah, I could have assembled Tron. Holy shit. Well, I guess I had 1 minute 30, but... Oh no, I can't. I only have Vesuva and a coin deeps, that's 2 total. Well... Shifting Woodland... No, I don't think I can assemble Tron with Shifting Woodland in any way. Juan Mat, last seen deck 3 days ago, Esper Merktide. I don't like the sound of that. I guess I keep. Maybe this is a put back Saga type hand. No, probably it's put back Spelunking. Watery Grave, What's Can I get my Spelunking back? Yeah, that's the most basic line, I guess, under the command, but there is also a bit more that's useful to know. Oh, that's a good draw. I think constructs might be good, so gonna name Giant, play Amulet. Next then play Vestige, Spelunking, put Saga into play. I mean, you can read the Scapeshift chapter from the Dome. Yeah, or wait for mine. I read the Dome file, and I think one of the issues is that due to its length, it's really hard to keep up to date. Yeah, I guess that's true as well. While the thoughts are nice and can help get a grasp of the deck plan, it contains a lot of older information in your view. It is true, yeah, because of course, like, you're gonna write 10,000 pages about the Frog matchup, and then Frog is actually an Esper deck for 3 months, and it's just all different, and then Frog is an Orchulus deck, and it's all different. A bit tricky. Opponent is on 2 cards in hand only, what happened? I guess they forced Negation and fought Seized. Pitched an Orchulus. I think the play is to make a construct, actually. Three lands, 2 amulets, don't need second pact if you fetch Urza's Cave with Scapeshift instead of Lotus Field right away, exactly. This is why the command says that sometimes things might go bad if you mill over your second pact, but it's easy to play around that. That's exactly what I meant. But yeah, knowledge like this should be included in the article. I don't have much. Another Saga could be useful. I can't put it into play this turn though. Don't even want to crack the map, so I'll play the Spelunking pre-combat, but I guess worst case is Bowmaster now, frankly. Counterspell is kinda awesome with the counterspell. Nice. So I just attack for 4. I block the frog, one of the frogs doesn't draw, so actually it doesn't look bad. So you can play games like this with constructs. So it's gonna be good that Harbinger doesn't kill the Sagas because you get to keep Sagas post board and just make constructs. Holy shit, that change is gonna be so good for the matchup. O ty skurwysynie, no. Game 1? That's unfair. I mean, I have to attack though. What happens if you play Saga after Blood Moon? I think it's gonna enter with one counter. It dies? Yeah, well, right now, but in the future. You just get a mana. 0 counters is just a mountain. You sure about that? Because it's still a Saga. That was the entire point as to why it was dying to Harbinger in the first place. Otherwise it would be able to tap for... No, because Sagas enter with a... Putting a counter as a triggered ability. No, I think not. I think Sagas... I think Sagas... The card type Saga means that you enter with the first counter. And that triggers the ability. Sagas enter with 0. Are you sure about that, buddies? Or are you just saying things that are not true? As a Saga without the red ahead ability enters the battlefield, its controller puts a lore counter on it. That Saga enters the battlefield with the chosen number of lore counters on it. That's like 4 red ahead, yeah. There was a Creator that made opponent staff get half counters. Yeah. And then what? Like, so Sagas enter with a counter. I think it just has a counter on it. The ability doesn't get put on the stack because it doesn't have that ability, but it puts a counter on it. No judges needed, we know that, chat. Dark Depths doesn't enter with counters if Moon is in play. Yeah, because it doesn't have the ability that says so. Urza Saga is still a Saga, so the intrinsic rule of Sagas still applies to it. How does Dress Down work with Walking Ballista? Well, does Walking Ballista enter with counters on it because it has an ability that says so, or because there is an intrinsic ability of artifacts, creature constructs that means that they enter with counters? Amulet is the best draw now. But I guess still attacking seems correct. Urza's Cave can fetch a... Alright, Harbinger defeated. Esper deck with Maniac Harbinger. What the actual fuck, by the way? What is this shit? Like, grow up, bro, and build a real deck. That makes sense. Looks like Cory's Burkhardt's list. Grow up, Cory Burkhardt. How does Dryad work with Dress Down? If Blood Moon and Harbinger on the board, do you get trapped? You for sure get trapped, yeah. Ty skurwysynu, no, pierdolony śmieciu, ja pierdolę, no. Nic się nie da zrobić w tej, kurwa, ekonomii pierdolonej. A nerw. Kurwa, no, I have no outs now, fuck off. Jak mnie to wkurwia. Why not Urza Scar for a forest? Because I can't win anyways. And because I got annoyed. This matchup sucks. I have 70 sideboard cards and none of them are good. Would you say an Esper deck with the main deck Harbinger is a random shit pile? I would say it's just unethical. And I would say that my opponent deserves to, for Urza Saga not to die to Harbinger. Nice thing about having Lotus Field versus Moon decks. Holy Dismember, play Field, play Dismember, laugh. Holy shit, I never thought about that play. With that knowledge, maybe we can do better. Take Dismember indeed. Play your frog. I can't even win because Lotus Field is in my hand. Truly tragic. Spell Snare. Cool, nice card. Opponent is prepared for my defense grids. Well, Scapeshift is really bad in this spot. Scapeshift for Cavern plus Saga. Incredible idea. I mean, I guess it gets worse if I don't cast it, so let's cast it. Whoa, pitch fun. Love to see that. Murktide Regent. Here just passes it okay. Well, it's kinda weak. I just pass. So was casting Scapeshift. How many spell centers do you think they have? Too many. GSZ would be nice this game over Defense Greeds, as it's actually would be a playable top deck. It's a Fotsy's deck as well, so I have to play it. But you know, the order kinda did not work out. But that's the danger, right? If you have Defense Greed and you draw it afterwards, it's the downside of the card. But now if I draw a Titan, Pact, I'm good. Oh, I'm not good. Well, I'm good with Titan, I can cast Titan. Boseiju kurwa no. They can pay for counterspell. Defense Greed, worst card ever. No fine, no fine, no. How would you like any more with Harbinger Smirk? I absolutely should have one, yeah. City of Solitude. Yeah, Solitude would kill Harbinger. I guess that's maybe a solution. Yet alone, an entire city of them. Roxanne, nie wkurwiaj mnie już. Ziomie. Chad, I'm currently getting beaten by Harbinger. Please, if you suggest the same shitty cards for the 10,000th time, I will not get less mad, I will just get more mad. So please be considerate of my mind state. Now, had I been in the future, I would have been able to play that. Any GU hybrid creatures? Yeah, Wasteful Selkie. And a 2-mana 1/1 version frog of that. And have a colorless lens for our TKS? Yeah, sauce. That wouldn't happen. It doesn't have the abilities, it just enters with a counter. Better to get Sex or Titan, probably Titan. I don't counterspell, bro. What happened? Maybe Woodland is better. Too dumb to understand layers. What Moon does, it removes all abilities from lands. The reason why Saga dies now is that there is a rule that says that when Saga reaches its ultimate chapter and it's not a source of a triggered ability on the stack, so basically when its last chapter has resolved, it dies, it sacrifices itself. They have changed it so that in the future, if Saga somehow loses all of the abilities, that rule doesn't apply. So by definition, it has to lose all of the abilities. It will still, because it's a Saga, enter with a counter. Just like it actually always did. It just died immediately, so you never saw it on Magic Online. So that's how it's gonna work. 7 cards in hand, by the way. Probably many black cards. Does that mean if you proliferate Saga after Blood Moon, you make constructs? Alright, does your Walking Ballista suddenly gain an ability to make constructs if you proliferate it? Actually block? It depends. You know what I should do actually? So the Walking Ballista doesn't gain the ability to make constructs. That's because it just doesn't have an ability like that. Urza Saga, that has lost all of its abilities, also doesn't have an ability like that. Henceforth, it wouldn't. Black, black. 5 mana. They actually have a Shoot the Sheriff, that's crazy. Kill Nahal Spellbomb. Yes, if I Saga after Moon, it has a lore counter, then Moon dies, it cannot tap for mana. Which is kind of funny. And something that you will have to keep in mind. That is exactly what's gonna be happening. Hello, Da Vinci. What is stack, by the way? What if you proliferate Saga after Moon has died? It will gain the ability to... Well, if you put the nth counter on the Saga, it's gonna gain the nth chapter ability. So that's like proliferating Saga if, let's say, you just proliferated it, I don't know, like normally. Holy shit, we won somehow. Scapeshift was horrible, but I guess life is horrible. This hand has a plan. The plan: opponent plays a Harbinger and I kill it. The anti-plan: opponent thought seizes me and I die. Once Moon dies, Saga adds lore counter every main phase. Yes, that's the rule of Sagas. There is no reason why that wouldn't be the case, yes. Wait, does it add a counter every main phase still? Because it's still a Saga? Actually? With Moon in play, is that the case? Alright, I need to play the Saga. I can beat Harbinger here. So, like, in the future, I would play the Saga here and I would be like, yeah, I guess I'm fine with my point Harbingers. With Moon in play, you will get no more counters. Oh, but that's because that's the part of the rules change as well. Like, explicitly, they actually made it so that it works this way, yeah. Right? Because otherwise, you would just get counters. But that will be kind of unintuitive and weird. I don't know if bro realizes they are in damage. Abhorrent Oculus. Rip. Oculus, Oculus. Oculus, more like you lose canister. Oj, consign, dobra kurwa. Koniec już tego dobrego. Which one do I kill? Which is tougher to defeat? Both are. I think it might be Oculus. Oculus finds Harbinger faster technically. Yeah, but I can beat Counterspell. So Frog finds Counterspell faster as well. But it's tough. Like, neither is beatable realistically, but we'll try. I think Frog is more beatable because it deals less damage. My opponent has 2 blanks, I can win. So here's hoping. Maybe they just have a GTFO. Consign my Amulet trigger. Guess that makes sense. Oh, well, fuck me then. I guess I died. Game 2 was nice because I won it, but game 3 was horrible. Well, I'm not playing with the Zek, it's a proxy. Just I put a card with the same stats to represent the proxy. But I will not be playing games with that deck before Final Fantasy releases. with spear. Not really happy to draw Lotus Field, but it might be a... it's not gonna be any... anything like that. I was about to say that it might be a Fetch T West game, in which case I actually missequenced my lands. I should have put Simic Growth Chamber into play, then next turn I would be able to play Vestige for double blue. No, that doesn't quite work still. So I guess there was no escaping. I had to top deck and I did, so... Good, good. Also, V2Zoscalpi, thank you very much for the sub. I appreciate your support. Welcome to the Canister Register. Chat, do you sometimes just wake up in the morning and think to yourself, damn, it's really awesome to be a proud member of the Canister Register. It's a really cool thing. I am glad I do belong to this group. Sometimes you wake up and you wish you didn't. You didn't belong to Canister Register? Come on. It weighs on your soul so much. We are thoroughly happy to be honored to be a part of the Cani Register, Canigister. Good, good. So we're up against Prowess. Time for heavy sideboarding and submit deck. Tense game. Could not play the Amulet to play around Consign, which my opponent semi-obviously has. But given that I want to Spelunk anyways, I should probably play the Amulet on the off chance that they don't have it, and also getting Amulet countered by Consign is not really a bad outcome. If I don't play it, I'm slowed the same amount of turns, and like it's not like Consign is so bad later. Twitch emotes. Sacred Foundry, is that a prismatic ending angle? Oh wow. Crazy. Did not even know my opponent is playing a white deck. That's fine though. Yeah. Not pretty. Is the new 2-mana creature good for Titan? It might be pretty good, yeah. If I were to play Green Sun Zenith, I would play it. I will try playing with Green Sun Zenith again to employ it. That's my approach. I take 8, go to 7, they have 1 card left, so maybe I don't die next turn. Oh, cave, nice. That is actually giga relevant. I have to put it into play. I can die to dart probably. How much is dart? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, I don't. They have dart plus land, that's not even 11 damage. DRC Rage's Channeler. Shit, what a hint. I can't go to Yemen. I'm an analyst. I'm only human. Ay, ay, ay. Is it even worth deploying the analyst now? Doesn't seem like it. I think next turn I should be able to win. Boseiju might be useful against Cory. I'm only human. Don't put the blame on me. Lava Spike kinda lethal if they get Delirium. Lava Dart, you mean? Yes. Mutagenic Growth. That alone is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I live. Puts a card on top. We lived. GG. GG. Why? Should have played the land first. Never made it as a wise man. Poor man stealing. Well, opponent loses here, but it's not like they scooped or anything, right? So, cool beans. And we actually have to manually kind of loop analyst. Sort of inconvenient. Yeah. Couldn't no, wise guy. Ah, la 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 la, I am stealing. This is how you loop titans. with Aftermath Analyst. Am I going for the cool double copy with Woodlands, or are you going for the Gigasoid Deeps copies Woodlands second Woodlands copies Titan? I'm not sure what I'm going for. Haven't gotten that far. I was going to make analyst copies. I think that's the fastest. Because it mails. So that was my plan. Eventually copy Titan? Yeah. Well, I could just haste analysts, but I wonder if I could actually do that in 15 minutes. Get enough analysts? Sounds a bit rough, perhaps. Isn't cave to get Tolaria faster? That's actually true. Somehow I didn't think that's an option for a moment. But obviously it is. Milled one Pact. Two analysts, I concede. That's too much to defeat. Did I do my Duolingo today? No, I skipped. I would be inclined to play Blood Moon. Because you kind of wanted to stick. Yeah, I get that's a wizard, but it's tricky. Not sure what's the answer to that. What language are you learning? I don't do Duolingo now. I think learning languages is pretty cool though, and sometimes I wish I spoke more or learned more. I guess not really spoke. I don't care about speaking, but understanding would be cool. Yeah. Islands, Suffolk Springs. What the heck is that? I don't like the sound of that. Is this another counterspell deck? Sure, seems like one. Watery Grave. Hot Seas. Damn, that's a really fun fact, Mr. Jimba. Although I am sad for Nickelbacks. Oh no, I miscounted. I was sure I have 6 mana here. Whoops. That is horrible. Well, at least I've got a construct, so... Here is that. And I packed it for no reason. Cool. Gains flying. Well, my Grazer has reach, so I don't know how much that flying ability will help. Oculus discarded. Oculus number 2 discarded. Oh wow. So opponent just died to constructs, which is really nice. Grazer secret tech's too strong. Sometimes it truly does pay off. Let's sideboard like we would in the future. How do I have 62 cards? Could have died to a Harbinger? Yeah, of course. That is frequently a danger. Is it worth to play 62 cards sometimes? I do sometimes, but one pact, I have to keep the other pact to keep at least some threats in my deck. Because I don't have GSZ currently, so I can sideboard like I am from the future, but also not quite. I cannot quite sideboard like that, so I'll keep the pact for today. Have I tried the new creature amulet? It hasn't released yet, but I will. What quantity of fire magics am I planning to utilize post FF set release? Probably 2, 3. I start by swapping all my sweepers to fire magics. Level 1 of changes is oh damn, Amulet so good. Level 2 is damn, Amulet is dead, I think. Just because there is gonna be a fringe deck that plays 2 Harbingers main deck. You'll just have to hope that it gets defeated by Boros Energy, as it typically happens, so... The Boros Energy matchup changes slightly, not much. The Frog matchup changes in a very nice way. Stubborn Denial, by the way. The new main deck, Moon decks, if they exist, suck. If you have to play against those, hopefully you don't. I Force of Negation, kurwa. No i zajebiście masz, fajnie. Gratuluję. I would still cut Sagas against Boros. I was cutting Sagas when they did not play Moon. I think just the tempo swing of getting hit by Werther on Saga was really the worst, but I mean you can keep them now. It's a bit easier too if you want to, for some reason. What an interactive and fun game too. Well, opponent casts a creature, I cast Dismember, kill the Harbinger, they protected. I played a mob, they countered. I'm going to bounce their creature and play more cards on my own. I would say it's in fact pretty interactive. So, yeah. If I get consigned, that's gonna be horrible. But I don't think summoning 6 is plausible. Giant. I might copy Otawara, but if I draw another one, that's bad. So the issue is that I get Harbingered again and I lose. Not great. Another one? Come on. Mr. B is so good. I wouldn't really say so. Not so good here. TBH, Titan would have been better. Defense Greed. MVP. I just die. Another Manifested Harbinger, bro. Stop. It is required to reveal Manifest Dreads, yes. It is required to reveal every face down monster. It's kind of weird because, like, why? Right, but they just keep it consistent. And the rules make no distinction between face down cards. So I think this hand would be insane against Harbinger from 2025. Well, let's say you had a lengthy game and you have a face down creature, and like, how do you prove which one is manifested and which one is not? It's a bit tricky. think in the future I should have actually played my Saga on this turn. To have a Saga on 2 when it's my opponent's turn 3. Same spot as game 1, really. But yeah, if you had the new rule, then like I would have a Saga on 2 right now. That would be incredible for me. My opponent can't have a Harbinger, so even if they have, they can't really play it because they will lose to the Saga. Of course, in current rules, they just play Harbinger. They fuck over my Saga, destroy it, and I'm sad. A nerf Ochulus. Why do we keep flying the frog in this spot? This is so weird. Guess I wouldn't want to get double blocked. Maybe a mistake. Maybe attack is better. Vestige and then... Yeah, it's probably better. It's way better. Except that I can Titan next turn, which might or might not be important. But I skip a combat here and I would attack for 10 damage. I definitely should have played Vestige. Ups. Kurwa, no... Ja nie mogę zrobić tego konstrukta tutaj, nie? Bo I got priority fucked over, destroyed, demolished. Zajebiście, fajna giera. Giga punished. I think if I attack with 2 5/5s, we have a real shot. Maybe not through Harbinger, but... You know, imagine if I had... Imagine new rules, by the way, I would... Like, they can't unmorph here. But I guess that's just wishful thinking, that we would live in the future while we are stuck in the present.